Hey guys, so today's Draw My Book video is by the author Tamora Pierce. She's really amazing. There's a link to her website below. Go check her out. She's pretty cool. Anyway, today's book is called Alanna, the First Adventure, and it focuses on our heroine, Alanna, obviously. So there are these two twins, Alanna and Tom, and they lead pretty happy lives until they realize that they can't do what they want to do in life because of their gender. Alanna really wants to be a knight, and Tom wants to be a mage. So the two of them come up with a pretty great idea, and with a little work, they manage to make it happen. They disguise Alanna as a boy so that she can go to the palace and train to be a knight, and Tom, no longer needing to be at the palace, can go to school for magic. Alanna's journey to the palace is pretty uneventful, but she does end up meeting a thief named George, and he turns out to be really important later. Life at the palace starts out pretty great, and Alanna's loving it, but soon she meets a man named Rowland of Mavlin, and he goes out of his way to make her life miserable. The two of them get into fights almost immediately, and Alanna's lucky that Prince Jonathan was there the first time and was able to break up the fight. He takes her under his wing and introduces her to all of his friends. Together, they start learning everything that pages need to know, like math, decorum, horseback riding, and especially weaponry. Rowland of Mavlin never stops bullying Alanna, though, and it starts to get really bad. She gets really sad, and she's never able to win a fight against this bigger guy. But she won't tell any of her friends because she feels like if she does, she's proving that women can't do anything that men can do. And she doesn't want them to know that she's really a girl until she can prove that she's just as good as the rest of them. That said, Alanna knows she can't let Rowland keep beating her, so she heads back into the city where she meets up with George, the friendly thief from earlier. George teaches her a whole new style of fighting, and she practices with him for months. Eventually, when she feels ready, she starts the next fight with Rowland. He gets absolutely infuriated when she insults him, and just like that, the fight is on. Thanks to the extra training with George, Alanna was able to win against Rowland, and she proves to herself that she can be just as good as the guys that she's fighting with. Time passes, and Prince Jonathan and his friends become squires since they're older than she is, and even more time passes, and the kingdom starts to come down with a disease called the sweating sickness. It's caused by magic, and it drains the magic out of all the palace healers. They start out with enough healers to save the city, but the sickness takes them one by one, and soon there's barely any healers left. With so few healers, when Prince Jonathan falls ill of the sweating sickness, everyone's worried that they might lose the only heir to the kingdom. Now, Alanna knows she has magic powers, but she doesn't like using them because they make her feel really despicable. But she knows that she can't let Prince Jonathan die, so she takes a deep breath, enters meditation, and uses her magic to save him. She was really grateful when the prince was saved, but unfortunately, it also drew the attention of the monarchs, and they decided that the pages needed to be trained in magic. So they called in Prince Jonathan's cousin, Duke Roger of Conte. Alanna has a really bad gut feeling about this man, and she thinks he's going to be just like Roland of Mavelin, or even worse, but everyone else says he's a great guy, so she goes with it. He's there to teach the pages with the gift magic, but Alanna doesn't really trust everything that he's saying. The squires get to go on a trip to Persepolis, and even though Alanna's not a squire, she gets to go with them. On the way, they're warned to stay very far away from the Black City, because it's supposedly haunted by gods who like to eat the souls of anyone who enters the city. Well, Duke Roger of Conte practically dares his cousin Jonathan to enter the city and defeat the gods. And Prince Jonathan, being a little egotistical, thinks that he can. He's never seen or heard of any of these enemies because no one's made it back from them alive. They're called the Yandisser, and they're some of the oldest gods ever in this world. Prince Jonathan sneaks out of the city that night and starts heading towards the Black City, and Alanna, who sees him sneaking out, follows him, hoping that she might be able to be at least a little bit of protection. As they get closer to the city, they start preparing for battle because they have no idea what they're going to find. When they get there, they realize that they might not be as prepared as they thought they were. Even though they're old gods and have lost a lot of their energy, they're still really powerful. And the fight is hard, but it's worse when they remove all of Alanna's clothes and Prince Jonathan finds out that Alanna's really a girl. He freaks out because she's been lying to him this whole time and he doesn't know what to think anymore. Despite that, they still manage to defeat the Yandisser and they're able to head home. It's a pretty dark night out, but they know that the sun will be up soon and there's no way they'll be able to make it back to Persepolis before people realize that they're missing. So they decide that they're going to stop by a conveniently placed lake and just spend the night there. Prince Jonathan demands that Alanna tell him her entire story, how she made it to be a page, how she's been disguising herself all these years, why George knew, and basically why she thought she could be a female knight. She does, and Prince Jonathan is pretty understanding of all of it, considering he just found out that his best friend was really a girl, but he was a bit sad when he found out George already knew about the whole female thing. Still, he was really happy, and he even asked Alanna to be his squire, which is a pretty big deal considering he just found out that she was a girl. It was a really happy ending to a really good story, and if you guys can't tell, it's one of my favorite stories ever. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel if you did, and leave a comment saying your favorite thing about the video, or if you read the book and you like how I portrayed it, that'd be really awesome. Also, be sure to comment with what book you want me to review next, because if you don't, you might not like the next book, and I don't want that to happen because this is all about you, and I want to know what books you want to see. So, it was really nice meeting you guys, unless I already knew you, and then it was really nice seeing you again. I hope you enjoyed this Draw My Book. Bye!